Hello, welcome Magic Monsters to the stream. I didn't play the jingle this time. It's a 2-minute long song. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. The jingle for Projectile Factory. If you go to Infinity PBR, click See All Assets. That's my affiliate link, and I always appreciate it if you go to my affiliate link or click the link in the description of the video, the stream below. Projectile Factory right here. It's doing quite well. Has a theme song. This video you should play with the sound on because it's a theme song. I believe it's the very first theme song for an asset ever in the history of the world. Aside from just music itself, which I don't think that counts. That's kind of unfair. This is a theme song for an asset that isn't music, and that's pretty phenomenal and new. Anyways, have a check at that. This is what we're going to be talking about today. Today, I've got a new particle package to integrate. Per request, a couple folks on the Discord said that this package is very good, so I reached out to Knife Entertainment, and they were kind enough to deliver me a voucher so that I could integrate this package into Projectile Factory, which means if you have both packages, you'll be able to just kind of drag and drop things together and they'll just work, along with all the other particle integrations that we've got. So should be some interesting things. A grenade, it looks like. So we'll see. I don't know what's in this package. I've never used it before. I just redeemed the code a minute ago, a few minutes ago, and then decided to do the stream. So I'm in the project now. We're going to go to Package Manager. I can't remember if I just installed it or not. I don't think I did. I think I just downloaded it. So let's go install Pro Effects Sci-Fi Shooter. Wait, Pro Effects Sci-Fi Shooter FX by Knife Entertainment. What do we need? Do we need everything? There's a lot of PNGs. We don't need the URP upgrade. Ooh, my left shoulder hurts for some reason. I had coffee with someone for 4 hours, which is always a good sign. And then my left shoulder hurts after that. And then, let's see. Don't need documentation. It's always a good idea to look through the list of things you're about to import and understand what you're going to import before you import it. And don't import things you don't need or you don't want. So there's a lot of scripts here. So we'll see how many of these we can use. How many we'll have to recreate. There's a projectile class. Ours is in a namespace, so hopefully there's no conflicts. Maybe there's a no namespace as well. We'll keep the demo scene. I want to see the demo. We'll keep, I think, everything else. Yeah, we'll import everything else. All right. And see the console down here? I realized I should make my windows smaller now. The console with all these warnings. Some folks, just in case you don't know, I think a lot of folks know this already, but in case you don't know, the yellow is a warning. The red is an error. And just because you see a warning doesn't mean you have to be concerned. And just because you see an error doesn't mean there is an actual error that you need to be worried about. While this imports, I will go on a rant about this. The thing is, this clear button, if you can clear out the warnings and errors, then it's not an issue. That's just the way it is. In most cases, if it keeps coming back and it's the same one and you're like, wait, this seems like it might be an issue, then dig into it by double-clicking the content and look at the script or figure out what it's saying. But like these errors are just, or these warnings rather, are just saying a character wasn't found. That's it in Unicode. If this is my thing, then it's probably through the interregular SDF font. So it's just saying that this font doesn't have this stuff. So I don't know. I think this could be one of the other particle packages I imported might have a font in it. And some of my packs use Unicodes. And my guess is it's just saying, hey, that font, which is not my font, it's one from another package, doesn't have the Unicode. Sure is a lot of PNGs here. Wonder what it's going to look like. The package, by the way, it'll upgrade your FPS, your sci-fi FPS, to a new level. 19 game-ready effects for player weapons. Each one contains a muzzle flash, projectile impact. That's wonderful. Shell types with an animated sprite sheet. Decals for metal surfaces with animated emission. 19 impact effects. High-quality sprite sheets. Nice. Good textures. You can always make these smaller. Better to have them shipped as big than to have them shipped too small. And then these are the weapons. So demo scene requires post-processing stack. We got that in linear color space. I don't know which one we're in. We're not doing URP here. While that's still importing, let's just check out the asset store for a while. If you have any questions, by the way, about Projectile Factory, let me know. I'm here. Is there anybody even watching? That's the other big question. That's the question I have. Is there anybody out there? Because I generally don't know until you tell me. It says somebody's watching, so hello, mystery person. Oh, look, number 3 in popularity. That's exciting. By the by, we just did, hello, Brock, how are you? We just did a new integration last night with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Toon Projectiles 2 by Hovel Studio. So Hovel Studio has this new one, Epic Toon FX 4, but he sent me a voucher for this one instead, Toon Projectiles 2. So this one has been integrated. Now, the video, one thing to note, the video here, the distance between these two positions is not much. It's like 8 meters or less, or 6 meters. It's very short. So you can see a lot more depth in the in detail in the textures of the projectiles. But this is what it looks like on my integration. I tried putting the camera closer, but it didn't really work for the idea of seeing things fly around, which is really the point. So I took it back out. So you can't see the detail of the individual particles quite as much, but you can get a sense for what you can do. And, you know, it's basic integration. It works just like all the other ones. This one I did firing 3 slowly. So just for some variety of different behaviors you can put on. But it integrated quite well. I moved a couple things around in the scripting docs because I do docs on the integrations as well, by the way. If you didn't know that, now you know. Where is it? Wait a minute. Where is it? Did I not... why does this say test? I wonder about that. Git book. Login. All right. Maybe I just... Oh, I never merged it. Whoops. Merge. Anyways, there's what I changed is there. I never merged the new docs. That's why it didn't show up. But cool stuff there. Lots of cool stuff. Oh, the email worked. Thank you. I sent those out, and it's funny because I've had basically just over 1,000 people on the email list for the past many years, and it just goes down slowly. I think I've lost a net 13 in the past 2 years, which is weird to me. And, you know, it's like a 28% open rate and smaller click-through rate, of course, which I think is decent. But I forget to send the emails out a lot. I don't send that many, and I sometimes forget. So at the last second, I should send it out. All right, did we finish importing yet? Oh, it looks like we may have. Okay. What's crazy is I think I'm on the email plan that lets me send 5,000 emails per month, which means I can really only send 4 emails per month because I have just over 1,000 email addresses, and it won't let me just not send to 50 people. So I can't send a 5th email that just skips people who never read it, which is annoying. Because I'm sure there's some emails addresses on that never open it, so they should just be removed. I don't need to send them an email, you know? Anyways, I don't think Squarespace cares about that. They just want me to upgrade to the next tier of subscription. All right. So I'm going to, hold on. Before we look at the pack, I'm going to create a new folder here, and we're gonna do. Actually, what's it called again? Was it Pro Effects, Sci-Fi Effects, Knife, Pro Effects. Spell it the same. Sci-Fi FX. All right, we'll do that. And then just a reminder of what I need. I'm just going to quickly create all the folders here. Data, objects. We're going to have impacts. I can't spell today. Muzzles, projectiles, particles, projectiles. Scene. I don't know what else we're going to need. Oh, this is for the particles. And then the data objects is going to need a collision behavior. I really can't spell today, apparently. This is spawn behavior modification. All right. There we go. Code Monkey recently sent an email. Oh, yeah. But the problem is I think I have to upgrade to the next tier to even have the capability to send to non-openers. It's weird. I need to look into it again. But I got annoyed with them once. Because their silly restriction seemed obvious that I was just trying to get you to subscribe to the next tier. Yes. No, Jekyll is hide. This is for Knife Entertainment's Pro Sci-Fi Effects. Let's open the demo scene. The Mega one hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'm hoping they give me a voucher. It would be nice. I'd give them a voucher. I only have a few left, but I've been giving it to the publishers who have been messaging me. What is this? This is an interesting look. They've got a window here. Turn off the stats. Let's just press play and see what happens. Ooh, this is fancy. All right, shoot, aim, switch weapons. I don't have a middle mouse button. But I have a scroll wheel. That's what it's saying. Scroll wheel, I see. And then look with the mouse. Okay, space is jump. I don't need to jump. Slow motion. That's neat. Switch weapon, tab. All right. Lots of good stuff. It's overkill for a demo, in my opinion, but that's cool. Yep, we can indeed move. Well, I'm getting stuck. Yeah, so there's something blocking me. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, wait. I'm pressing left, but it's going backwards. I don't know what's going on. Anyways. Whoa. All right. There's the... Oh, shit. All right. The scroll wheel's way too sensitive. I'm barely touching it. Like, I am just literally just shifting my finger not even a millimeter, and it's changing weapons. All right, but we got weapons. You can zoom. But I can't zoom and fire because the Mac mouse can only go one side or the other. So this is made for a PC. This is interesting. That's a cool little gimmick. Not gimmick. Gimmick's not the right word. Ooh, double ball gun. We'll have to check that out. We'll have to make it rotate as a behavior too. Gravity gun. That's fun. All right. Let's play with these. I think in the end, is this the gravity gun? It's a cool bending effect on the shader too. Wasn't really. Oh, there we go. I wasn't aiming right. I see. So you can suck it up, and then if you quickly fire it, you can spit it away. Otherwise, you just projecting force. That's a neat use of projecting force, actually. It's a very simple concept, but I like it. All right, let's use this. Oh, look at the hands right there. All right. So the other question is, should I use their hands or should I just... Well, we'll bring the two together. We'll merge the two together in the demo scene. All right, let's get out of this. And I'm going to copy the scene here. And we're going to call this sci-fi... was it Pro Effects Sci-Fi FX? And we'll bring that down to this. Oops, that was not the right spot. All right, scene. And scene. Let's load this up. Hello, Tech Dave. Hello, Game Maker. How are you guys? Hello, Chris Baker. Everybody just said hi all at once, like within very little short time of each other. Thanks. I always appreciate a hi so I know I'm not alone. I don't mind talking to myself. I do that all day. But it's nice to know that I'm not alone. That I am not alone. You are here with me. All right. So step one is I got to change the textures out because this is textures for the wrong pack. But we can take the textures from the pack to make it more fun. Materials. Let's find some materials for environments. Do you see any materials for environments? Ground. Let me find the ground. Ground. That doesn't look like a good ground. That does. All right, let's change all the floors to be ground. And then I think the wall in there was also edge collider. That's what I'm looking for, really. Ground. And then I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So we're going to change it. We're going to go back to... here we are. Materials. Make it dark gray. Basic dark gray. And then these spheres. The spheres will be... Oh, there's two material things. Will be orange. Then I guess the edge colliders, we can make this background. There we go. We'll just do that. And then the last one will be the cubes here. Where are the crates and pipes too, I guess. Gray primitive. What does that look like? Gray weapon. It's bright target. Oh, that's cool. We'll make those targets. And then pipes. What happens if we make these a target? That's not good. That won't work. What about background? Nah. Well, orange. All right, we're going to make a duplicate of this and call this green. And then we're going to move it into a different folder. Create folder. Materials. I just want something green. That's all. That's all. We got to put it in the demo, in the integration one, because it's because it's not in that package. And then we'll make it a little darker. It's fine to be bright, but maybe a little less bright. All right, that should be fine. We'll save that. Next step is to... Well, they had some really cool guns. I don't want to replace the gun over and over like they did. That would be overkill, but perhaps we can update this a little bit. So bear with me. This is going to be more like the Forge 3D one, I think. If I end up doing the what I think I might end up doing. Let's see. We're looking to look at their prefabs. Or maybe we'll just look at their models. Prefabs down here. Okay. Oh, those are the particle. Where's the guns? Shells, impact laser. We need just the guns themselves. I wonder what the difference is between these two. We'll dig into that. Models. Models. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. We can look at this. All right, so these come with hands, which is interesting. That means you could probably use these in your FPS. Did you know that? You could probably do an FPS demo with these, but I'm not going to do an FPS. I'm just doing the integration. I'm not going too crazy. We're not going to bring in grenades and do all that stuff. Ooh, it has a whole rocket, though. That's cool. Oh, we should bring in these, though, because those were cool. Oh, and they have test boxes instead of crates. Ooh. All right, all right, all right. Calm down, everybody. Okay. Okay. We'll bring in some of these. Let's turn these crates off and we'll bring these primitives right here. Oh, they're small. Why are they so small? They're a lot smaller than my test crates. They all have a rigid body and a box collider on them. So when press play, they should just fall over. We're going to make them just bigger. All right. What else do we got here? Throw some primitive cubes out here. .5, 0.5, 0.5. Just gonna make a whole stack that's gonna fall once we press play. All right. All right. That wasn't the gun. These are the guns. I'm going to use... I don't know. I'm indecisive. I'm going to use... Oh, yeah. How come these aren't prefabs? How come they're so small? Everything's so small. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's press play and see what happens. Nope. Hey, those, I'm surprised those didn't fall over. That's fine. We can make them fall over. There you go. They're heavy apparently. What's their mass? Oh, their mass is 16. Let's change all of their masses to like 3 for the purposes of this demo. 3. I'm just going to delete this. All right. Let me move all these to up here. That should be enough of that. And then I wanted to bring in a gun. I'll bring in, I guess, this gun. Let me just see if we throw this on the demo actor. Where is it? It's very small. See, everything's very small. Like 1/3 the size of what it should be. Let's see. Do we have just the gun? Just the gun. That's just the gun. Let's take just the gun. Oh, let's unpack the prefab. All right. There's just the gun with the weird pivot spot, but that's okay. So we're going to do maybe this. Put this one here. Make a second one here. And then we're going to put these here and here. And those will be our spawn points, but they're facing the wrong direction. Oh, that's not. All right. We're just going to create a new spawn point. Spawn point. And rotate it so that blue line is facing the forward direction. Duplicate it. Put that here. Make it 0. And again, the blue line needs to face forward. Blue is forward. So those will be our spawn points. And for this one, we are now going to turn off that. And yeah, and then for our actor, we have now 2 spawn points instead of 1. So we're going to keep the same rotating and tilting transform, but instead we're just going to do one of these spawn points here and one of these spawn points here. And then we're going to need a spawn point manager. We'll use the sequential spawn points. It's the only one that comes with the package. It just goes back and forth. And hold your breath, everybody. Let's see if that just works. First, let's see if the rotation works. Yep. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. It just works. That's what I'm talking about. Now, of course, these aren't the projectiles yet, but we have integrated the back and forth behavior. No bugs. No bugs. It was very easy. We just added the spawn point, used the spawn point manager, and this one's just sequential, so it goes back and forth. And we can, of course, go through all this, go through all these. I'm interested to see what the one that spews 3 at a time does. This one does. Yeah, so this is where the spawn point manager comes into play if you want to control a little bit more about things, but you can do a lot with the spawn point manager. So now this one goes a full 360 and then repeats with 0 delay. That's why it's going back and forth between each one. When it on the repeat, it's switching them. That's what the spawn manager or point manager is doing. This one is fun. It shoots a lot of bullets very quickly. Well, the gravity guns, none of these are the new projectiles. We've only done the gun. These guns, move these guns over, basically. But now we have to do the projectiles. Now that we got that working, we're all fun games until someone gets hurt. So now we got to do the projectiles, and this is going to be an interesting. I don't know how the gravity gun's going to work. So let's look at their actual prefabs. We got trails, prefabs. So first we have to figure out how their package is set up. That's the first set of the integration, because everyone sets it up slightly different. This one so far seems pretty straightforward. I'm not sure what this is, so let's just bring it in. It seems like it's going to be a laser effect. Let's turn it on. Everything's small. Why is everything small? So this is a laser beam. Why is it so small though? So this is where we have to look at their scripts and see if any of the scripts are very opinionated and need to be removed or replaced. We don't want their scripts controlling things like movement. What is this? That's weird. It looks like they have, well, other things on here. Whoa. See, the scale's really, really small on all these. All right. So maybe we'll use this. It's going to be, we're going to rename it though. Where we're Pro Effects Sci-Fi, and then Big Laser Beam. We're going to call it that. I might come back to it, but we're going to focus on the, oh, I guess it is a beam. So we'll do that. Okay, let's bring the projectiles in first. All right. Raycast projectile. See, so they have a custom script here that's doing everything, right? So I think we're gonna basically just be removing that script. Ooh, I should be taking notes. Edit. So I like to take notes as I go because I definitely will forget. Oh, I was supposed to update this. Let's go to YouTube and grab things. I did this late at night and then I went to bed. YouTube Studio, content, tune projectiles 2, get the URL, edit this, YouTube. All right, and delete this one. There you go. Merge that, and then we'll start a new one and edit it. All right. Duplicate it. We'll call it Pro Effects Sci-Fi FX by Knife. I'll do their whole thing later, but changes made. Update. Changes made. Removing classes. I've removed the control classes from the projectiles since Projectile Factory will handle that logic. All right, merge it. Come back later if we do more. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's the only thing we need to control here. So we're just gonna delete that, but let's bring in the other effects first. So we got explosions. We'll handle those. But I want to do just the projectiles first. I like to keep them in. Okay, we'll have to come back to the gravity gun. And we'll come back to the launchers. This is probably another beam. Yeah. I don't know what it's doing, but we'll figure that out. So I'm going to copy this and make this lightning beam. We're going to handle those separately because they're different from the rest. Right now we're just looking for the straight projectiles. Toxic puddle? No. So this is a grenade. Oh, so it's a projectile. Okay. All right, so now we're going to change the name of these. So I built myself a nice little helper script here to just object names. I'm going to add a prefix of this. I don't think we need to add spaces or capitalization, but I like to keep standardized naming when possible. And I just didn't, I accidentally didn't have a space. That's annoying. But we're going to change these to names that are a little bit more standardized. Like we don't need the word projectile on the back of these. Laser lance is all we need instead of laser lance laser. And no effect needed. Plasma. Rail. Sci-fi shotgun. Submachine gun. Submachine gun. I like to spell things out. Toxic blob, I'm going to call it, because it's much more of a blob than a grenade. All right. Then to these, let's see. Yes, we need to remove grenade. We need to remove raycast. This was this auto aim. Remove that. We'll find other things perhaps. Oh, so this is a laser too. All right, we'll make that a beam and we'll put that aside. This is also a beam, laser lance beam. Put that aside. I didn't see these in the demo, I thought. But I didn't look at everything. I'm not sure how the double ball thing's going to go. We'll check that out. All right. So now we need to add to all of these a projectile component. And we're going to use the Magic Pig Games one. For the speed, we'll start with 40. For the spawn behavior, we're going to do machine gun normal. For the behaviors, we're going to start with just the move forward classics. Destroy on trigger a collision, and raycast hit detector. That way it will move forward, it will hit things, and it will destroy. That's the basics. So I'm going to copy this and just paste them as new to all of these so they all have the same stuff. And now we can save these prefabs. So we're going to our integrations up here and just drag these down here to our projectiles as original prefabs. All right. And then while we've got the thought in our head, we're going to replace all of these with these. Lightning, plasma, shotgun, submachine gun, and toxic blob. All right. Save. Turn this off for now. Let's just press play, see what happens. All right, so they are going off. They are firing. You see the camera shaking. That's because they are colliding with things. But of course, there's no explosions. There's no muzzle flashes. So it's kind of boring, but they are working. They all go forward. This one seems like it's supposed to be a beam or something. So that one was called fusion. Maybe fusion's supposed to be a beam. This one, what's going on here? It seems to be disappearing. Oh, wow, it had the right settings for the rigid body already. Nice. Toxic blob. Oh, and this is the old one from the other package. Okay, so fusion appears to be a beam. So we're going to put this up here, delete this down here. And then that's fine. We'll just leave it there. Lightning, what was going on with this? This was disappearing for some reason. I don't want to touch any of the other settings unless we know we're gonna, be removing something. I just don't know why it wasn't. These aren't particles per se. It's just, it looks like it's a I'm not sure what this does. Huh. All right. Well, we'll leave it. We won't touch it, but I just want to know why it's disappearing. This card changes. Bring this up here. Press play. Then we'll turn it on. Oh, this seems to be an instant hit of sorts, maybe. Because every time we turn it on, it does one thing and then it goes away. So what we really need is to have logic that makes it go the full distance. Do I have one that does that already? I have an instant hit one, but it has no projectile. It just goes. So we'll modify that. So this is going to be, I call it that. We're going to put this up here for later. I'll probably end up doing those off the stream because I don't think I'll get through everything by the time I want to take a break. And we'll go back to here. Projectiles. I'm going to remove this one from that. All right, demo actor. We've got some missing ones now. So we'll move these here and this here. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total ones for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so there must be some grenades and other things that we'll have to handle later, but I'll go through later and do all those. But now let's do the muzzles and the impacts. So the project is fine. The layout of the stuff isn't my favorite personally, but it's fine. Like the names are a little off and all that. All right, so we're gonna do all the muzzles now. Oh shit, this is gonna be. We only want to do the muzzles of the blaster on down though. the shell emitters. This is something we'll have to turn on and off. All right. Explosions, sure. No, we want the muzzles right now, not the explosions. Gravity gun will come back to. Grenade launcher will come back to. Laser gun. How come? What happened to laser gun? This is lance. It turned out to be a beam. Yes. Yes, it's a line renderer, so it's a beam. All right. So we'll do, I'm going to come back to those. Lightning gun was also a beam. Lightning gun V2 was a beam. Both lightnings were beams, right? One's an instant hit. All right. Multi-rocket launcher. Railgun was not a gun. It was actually a beam, it appears. It just goes fast. Might even be an instant hit. I don't know. Rocket launcher. Did I do rocket launcher? I did multi-rocket launch, but not this one. Shotgun. Okay. Oh, shit. Look at that. I'm in play mode. Isn't that just the worst? Isn't that just the worst when you're in play mode and you do all that stuff and then you realize you're in play mode? All right. Now we're going to go back to our helper tool. Prefix pro effects sci-fi space that space. Add spaces between camel case. All right. Rocket launcher muzzle. Submachine gun muzzle. I think the emitters do something different. I think they emit something constantly, and we'll see how those work out of the box. I'm naming them all emitter so it's more clear what they all are. That's why I've got them grouped right now with the kind of thing that they are. But I do want to press play and just confirm that these do what I think they do. Oh. Where's the... Huh. Particle group emitter. Particle group emitter component. Tooltip is the same as the name. That's not helpful, but that's okay. Particle count multiplier is a count multiplier. Just call this particle count multiplier. It's okay. How does it start? On enable emission, emission enabled. Emit count. Okay. So I think what we need is instead to turn this into something that just emits one. It happens once. Okay, it seems like that's what they are. It's just saying it wants to handle the emission itself. Like emit, 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 one, do one, 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 one. So I think we're going to remove this component from them. And we're going to turn these into essentially a thing that just gets spawned, similar to the muzzles. And we'll just get one per. We'll use the object pooling, so it shouldn't be an issue, I think. But we do need to make sure these all play on awake. That is the issue here. Play on awake. That was cool. What's that? Some distortion. Play on awake. Do I have a helper for this yet? I should make one if I don't. Magic Piggy Games. Set particles. Nope. Let's make one. Where is that script, though? Now I have to find where that script is. Set particle values. All right. We're going to do this. Play on awake. And let's see if the... Ha ha ha. The AI is amazing. Oh my gosh. Did it just write it all for me? It may have. Let's find out. So now we're going to select all of these. Go to our helper script. Set particles. Play on awake true. Did it work? Play on awake is true. Isn't that nice? That was a lot easier than doing it manually. Write scripts, by the way, folks. Write editor scripts to save yourself time and money. All right. I thought we'd removed this. I thought we removed. Oh, the muzzles had it as well. All right. Now we need to add a... edit this. I gotta say what I just did too, because I'll forget. Play on awake True. Muzzle slash emitters are now play on awake. Only the new prefabs, not the original. And the emitters will be handled the same as muzzles. Instantiated on projectile spawning. Alright. Alright. And then, so this we need a destroy or pool object. And this just does the destroy. It basically destroys it as soon as it, with the default settings, it starts immediately. And it just destroys it in 5 seconds. So it puts it back in the pool so it can be reused. So all of them have that. We can now save these. So these are going to be up here as particles. We're going to call these muzzles, original prefabs. And then we're going to use the helper method up here in the Projectile Factory, shortcuts rather, to create spawn behavior modifications for them and bring that into our data objects, spawn behavior modifications. That way they're all set up, ready to go. They're a very common use case, so I made a tool just to make it for me right away, so it's a lot easier. Now we need to go to our projectiles and set these up with this. So our spawn modifications, we're now going to look for pro effects, and this is blaster, so the blaster muzzle, and then the blaster. Does the blaster have a... We'll use the pistol shell emitter. Electric ball muzzle. I don't think all of these have emitters necessarily. Some of them do. Explicitly named ones, which is nice when they're explicitly named. So this is spawn modifications. These are basically just saying spawn this at the spawn point, right after the projectile spawned. All the spawn modifications go through, and this is saying spawn. This is a spawn object on projectile, and you can adjust the position and stuff, and other details. But it's just saying spawn this. That's all it is. Nothing too fancy. Toxic blob. All right, save that. Let's just press play and see what they look like. See if anything breaks. So something's going on. Oh, I should probably turn these off first. Let me turn these off first just to make sure we don't get too confused. And then we'll go to the demo actor so we can see in more detail, a close-up, what it looks like. I'm seeing pink, so that is an issue with their pack, not mine. But I'm seeing the muzzle flash. I'm seeing the things come down. I don't know why they're pink. Let's find out. Because they're missing a material. All right, let's find it. I'm sure it's easy to be found. That was the blaster muzzle. No, not blaster muzzle. It was the pistol shell emitter. Shell is missing its material. So look in the knife thing. Material. Nope, that's mine. Not its. Where's its? This one. Probably in this materials, maybe. What is this called? Shells, pistol shell. No P. Shell. These all look like particle materials. I don't see it. Shotgun shell. I don't know. Let's use shotgun shell and see if that works. It's so small. It just has to not be pink. That'll work. Why are they so small, though? Why is everything so small? It's unsatisfyingly small. And these are particles, so the problem is they just making it bigger won't work. We have to go through all of these and check the size. Light particle. I'm just gonna make the size 3 times 3 of all for all of these, and see what that does. 0.39. Muzzle flash. Oops. 0.15 to 0.1. Whoops. 1.5. Yeah. 1.5 to 1.8. Let's see if that works better. It's a little bit better. I can see the distortion now. Everything seems to be small. Scale. The scale on all objects appears to be about 1/3 what I would expect. In many cases, I've increased the size to 3x what was set. So again, it only affects the versions of the prefabs I'm saving. It doesn't affect the others. What are my friends saying? Hold on, break to look at my friends. Oh, wow. There you go. All right. Friends were responded to. Really? What do you mean an expression in the fields? You can type 1 times 3 or whatever. All right, let's try this one. What is this you're saying? Start size. Oh, so if I wanted to do that times 3. Interesting. I didn't know you could do that. So I can copy and paste the times 3. Interesting. Interesting. You know what else I could do? I could make a helper script for that. Let's just make a helper script. Start size multiplier times 3 and divide by 3 handles min and max as well as single value. Let's see if the AI can do this for me too. It looks like it can. So now we just have to go to all of these and see if it works. All right. The other thing is now for this menu thing, for the divide by 3, it's a slash. So 1 times 0.3. Yeah. Make that more clear. All right. So that should have worked. Now we can just kind of look at... but I only assigned the 1, didn't I? Okay, what's neat about this, I do like the distortion effect. What happens if we make this even bigger? Doesn't look like it's any bigger, does it? Start size 1.5. Oh, it's not working. If that, else set the size to times 3. Star size constant. Okay. All right. It didn't appear to have actually worked. Nope, it does not appear to be working. Let's add a debug log, because I want this to work. Oh, you know why? It needs to handle all the children. It's not looking at the children. Oh, it's supposed to be. Debug.log object has a particle component. Debug.log start size was is now that, but we're not going to report on that now. Instead, we're going to do that after. Is now that. All right. Let's see. See what it gives us. Distortion out should be 1.5, 4.5, and it's not. So it appears to be doing the thing, but it's not saying it or something. Maybe we need to set it here. Else. And then Let's see. Ask this AI. Do we need to set these values somehow? They don't appear to be set on the object, but the debugs do show a change as expected. Set the modified. That's what I thought we were missing. This is what we were missing. All right. Let's see. There it is. All right. So we're going to save this. And then we're going to go to our, not Discord. We're going to go to here, remove our debugs. All right. I just want to see it before I do anything else. That's better. That's better. Really, so, whoops. So really, 9x, 3x, or even 9x, what was set. They're very small. All right, so we're going to do that one twice on all the others. All right. Oh, I guess I did already set the others, didn't I? I forgot. Oh, that one's now too big. Which one's this? Double electric ball. We might need to adjust this one. I don't know how they do the double electric ball. What's going on here? Which one was throwing that error? All right, so blaster seems to work fine. Let's make sure they're coming back from the dead properly. They are. That's this right here. Just checking to see if they come back from the pool, basically. All right. Oh. Oh, do I have a missing thing? Did I do this in play mode and then forget that I was doing things in play mode? Yeah, that's exactly what I did. All right, so it wasn't the particles at all. It was me, the actor, the spawner. Human error, that's what it was. All right, that could probably be down 1/3 too. Yeah, that's better. Happy with that. Happy with that. Happy with that because it's just more powerful. It's big, but I like some variety. But now those particles are too big. These down here. And look how they keep shaking and shaking and shaking. Like a Polaroid picture. Loose low. This is this one. Maybe for all these shell emitters, we'll make them a little bit smaller. Okay. All right, that's better. All right. Now, I do have it tinted, don't you see? It goes darker. I never liked the color one. I just liked it darker. It usually does make me notice it, but I don't know. So not always. The other thing I wanted to do is make the particles themselves bigger, the projectiles. I don't know how this is going to look, but let's see. If we make them all... That's better. The shotgun one doesn't look like a shotgun. Right? In some of these cases, I might not convert it exactly the same because they might have special scripts on it and I might just not want to, or it might not be possible. I'll try to, though. That's my goal, is to try. All right, let's do the impacts now for these ones. Impacts. The effects look cool. They're just not my favorite so far to bring over. All right. These are all impacts, it looks like. I don't know what this one is. This is a muzzle. Oh, wait, what? This is like two things at once. It starts sucking and then spits, so it's not really... I don't know. It's not really usable. Where are these? So these are just explosions. Okay. I will avoid the gravity one for now. All right. Impact. Impact. Plasma was... Yes. Okay. Railgun was a beam. Rocket launchers, different. Shotgun, impact. Submachine gun, impact. Toxic gun, puddle. We'll see how that goes. All right. Okay. We can keep impact. I do want to change this to be machine gun. All right. Now, what is all this? And do they have special scripts? Light, shockwave, distortion. All right. As long as there's no special scripts, then I'm happy. Let's just see what they do. And we'll go from there. So we're going to make these impact particle, original prefabs. Oh! Add to all of these. Pool or object, or destroyer pool. There we go. Almost forgot that. That's an important bit. And then from these, we're going to do our Projectile Factory Shortcuts. Create. This one's going to be they spawn on impact. Very common behavior. Just spawning on impact. So I made a shortcut for it. It's a collision behavior. And then for all of our projectiles, let's set those up. So it's a behavior. We need pro effects, blaster impact, double electric impact, electric gun impact, plasma impact, sci-fi shotgun impact, submachine gun, toxic blob, puddle. Ooh, explosion. The puddle is only when it lands down. So I'm not going to handle that in this demo, I don't think. But we have an explosion for it. The submachine gun, while we're here, let's change this and make it come very fast and make it move very fast. Just for shits and giggles. See? Much better, right? Oh, look at that. You know what that's doing? There's a trail being moved back. I have a fix for that. Okay. We're looking at the impacts, which are all, not all of them, but some of them are very small. Whoa. Why is it going up there? Shouldn't be. That's weird. Ooh, you know what I haven't done? Helpers, set layer of all projectiles to projectile. I made another helper because you have to set the layers of the projectiles to projectiles. And so maybe that was the issue with that one. Apparently sticky bombs was a thing. Good idea. Who knew? I don't know why it's going straight up there. See, it should be more like this. But for some reason it was going straight up. See, I don't know why it's doing that. Unless it's looking at other particles. No, wait a minute. There's an object there. There must be an object that's being spawned. Because they're colliding with something. Some mysterious unknown object. What is there? What is this? Electric gun impact. Let's see what this is all about. There must be a... Oh my gosh, there's a whole... This is a very big impact thing, by the way. One of these must have a... They didn't clean this up. They just have all these turned off objects and stuff. It's fine, but you know, it's nice to clean things up. I try to clean up my stuff. I don't always do appropriately, but I try to. One of these probably has a collider on it. Is my guess. I haven't found it yet though. Aha! A explosion force field. Let's delete this. One thing we didn't do to any of the explosions is add force, which I guess we should do that. All right. So all these impacts, actually, let's do some different than others. So gun impacts, blasters, rockets. No, the rockets will be different. These impacts will all be project force. I should have just done it like this. I forget what force I was using. Keep it as 10 for now. Whoops. Copy component. Paste component values. Then these project force impulse not in a direction. We'll make it 5. We'll make it 12. I don't know if that's the right amount, but you know, to each their own. Paste component as new. All right, so now they'll project force when they hit 2. Probably too much force. Yeah, that force is probably too much. Again, it's going up. Why is it going up? There's a collider here still or something. This was a different one, I think. They both had that collider on it. Do they all have that? They do. Not all of them. I also noticed they have this force, negative 1200. That implies to me they were making the mistake that I did, and they were saying it to force because that's way too high. Unless I guess all their weights of things in the rigid bodies were really high, so that math is the math that matters. Okay. Maybe we got rid of them all. Gold bullion, huh? I heard about somebody who their father died and they opened a safe and they found it full of gold bars. Wow, so this force is too much. All right, so we got to reduce the force on everything, especially the toxic thing. And we got to figure out that. Okay. Let's do the toxic puddle for this. We'll make it just 5 in a radius of 2. All of these forces were a bit too high too, I think. So we'll make it just 8. Which one was that? That was the submachine gun, I think it was. Trail right here. What was the fix for this? Was toggle objects at events observer, I think it was. And then we bring down this. So this defaults to having these two events start on projectile. You can set them, but it defaults to start in projectile launch projectile. Start only happens at the start. The first time a projectile launches, this event doesn't actually fire. So it's kind of like relaunch projectile. And I believe this should turn it off and then turn it back on appropriately. So let's find out. I think I need to update my docs on that too. I updated that last minute, and it's much cooler than it was before. All right, so there you go. That seems to have fixed it. No, it did not fix it. How did I change that? How did I fix that? It's cool. What was it? Did I put notes? Tune projectiles. This is why it's important for me to make notes. Oh, I didn't make any notes there. Shit. Well, then I don't have notes on it. That's why. Now I have to remember what other thing it was that had those. It wasn't these, so maybe it was the magic arsenal. Because this is the last one I integrated before release. Close this. Oh yes, it was these ones. Toggle trail renders, destroy. Oh yes, toggle trail renderer objects, destroy and launch observer object. So that's right. I was on the right track. In fact, let me put that here while I'm thinking about it. Trail renderers. Many of the projectiles. Shit. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. Have a good time. All right, I just had to talk to a guy. So I rent rooms out. I'm going to be quiet about this, but I rent rooms out. That's what I started doing because I can't afford this house. And there's a new guy. He's a very nice guy. But he has he just started moving his stuff in a couple days ago, and he has this thing where he will try to talk to me through the door if he knows I'm here. he did that the other day. I was like, so he just did it right now. And so I was like, okay, I gotta put an end to this, right? And so he was like, hey, Andrew, out there. So I said he just had a question about where he should put his food, in this fridge or the garage fridge. I just got a garage fridge. And I was like, oh, hey, but, no worries. But if the door's closed, just text me and stuff. So he was like, oh, sorry. So hopefully he'll stop doing that, because it's like, come on, man. Like, the door's closed. I could be doing anything. You know what I mean? In here. And so, all right, notes. You can buy gold at Costco now, huh? All right. Notes. So many of the projectiles have trail renderers, which can cause visual issues when they are returned from the pool. Those projectiles have a, what is it? Toggle trail renderer objects destroy and launch observer object. That's a mouthful. A toggle trail renderer objects destroy and launch observer object. I like component on them. I like big names that are clear because they're easier to search. This will turn them off and on appropriately with the right code to clear their positions and remove the visual effect. So hopefully that makes sense. Changes made. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into here as well. All right. And now back to reality. Oh, there goes rabbit. Where was I? Projectiles. It was the submachine gun. So it was not, it was a very similar one to toggle of objects. Trail renderer. Toggle trail renderer. This one. See, and it automatically assigned the trail. Isn't that nice? It looks for it if it's not there, and it automatically assigns it. So most common use cases will be automatic, which is very nice. Let's press play, make sure that worked. Submachine gun. Let them go back to the trail. There we go. So now they're coming back and they're not causing that effect. All right. So we are getting very close to done with some of these, but not all of them. Which one is this? Sci-fi shotgun. It doesn't look like shotgun bullets, right? Let's slow it down a little bit. Do you know you can hit the 2 brackets to slow down the time scale in the demo scene? All right, so shotgun. Like, this just looks like trail render. Is there supposed to be a mesh active? Because it's just a trail render right now. Let's see what happens when it collides. Nothing. Until this. That's all that does. We can make that bigger, I guess. All right, go our impacts, shotgun impact. All right. And then test it. But it doesn't look like a shotgun. That's the thing that gets me. All right. Well, the impact's better now. But it's just like, do they have a special script on theirs or something? Speed 150. Explosion. I don't know. It doesn't look like they have anything special. All right. I'm going to check out their demo scene one more time, though. Just to see if I'm missing something. Even though my mouse scroll wheel won't work well. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So their fusion, first of all, seems to do 3 or 4 things all at once. It's got a warm up. And is it instant? Or is it travel? Seems to have a max distance. It travels. Interesting. So it's got this warm up. That's what that thing was for. See, it's mine doesn't have a what is going on here? Oh, this is one of the rocket launchers. I have to whip out my notebook and take notes on this. Electric gun. Yeah, I don't know why all of the particles are really small, so they must have something in their scripts to handle all this. I wonder if I can do it differently. Not that I want to undo all the work I did, but let me restart this real quick. So the electric gun fires the electric gun projectile and the electric gun impact, which has on it all this stuff, and then it disappears. See, and this is the problem with the integration. It's a little frustrating. Electric gun impact would be right here. And it's tiny. Right? It doesn't collide. It must have to be called from something else. Somehow it's triggered probably by the electric gun projectile. Let's see. Which doesn't look like my electric gun projectile, I think. No, that didn't do it. What does my electric gun projectile look like? Electric gun. Oh, yeah. It looks the same. Never mind. Mine's a little bit smaller. But otherwise... Oh, that's why it was smaller. It was just further away. So, okay. It's the same. So I'm not sure what this is doing. Oh, whoops. I moved the wrong thing. It doesn't appear to be colliding there. It must have the raycast. So the problem with these particle packages, the particles are great, but the scripts are rigid. So I would love to just use their scripts, but their script does everything. It does destroying. It has all these options to handle uber particles rather than bite-sized pieces. So you need to look to see on enable is hitted is false. Where is that? It's a true update. If you're hit, then return. And then it does in the update projectile loop, which is basically the update loop, I bet. We do a raycast. It's got a custom I-hittable thing, which isn't helpful for a game where you're going to have your own interface for stuff. It even seems to be computing damage amount, and it has a damage data structure, it looks like, or class structure. They don't even use amount. They expect you to use that. But this is the thing that gets me, is like the whole point of Projectile Factory is to remove this from these so that they can just be used. But this one, I can't extract parts of the script, and I can't use the script. Instantiates explosion, and then it destroys that explosion in 10 seconds. All right, at least the electric gun impact does not appear to, it just gets instantiated, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything when it is turned on. So is the size just it doesn't seem to play for me. So I don't really know. I don't really know how these operate, because they don't appear to be playing. Frustration. And there's too many different prefabs for the various things that aren't clear which prefabs are which prefabs. That's okay, though. It's just me being nitpicky now. Which one was that? Electric gun impact. Oh, now it comes in. Why isn't it working before? Because it was the clone, maybe? So that impact's pretty big. My electric one is electric gun impact. Also big. How come mine looks so much smaller? Oh. I know why. Fucking shit. Because everything is small in this world. Wait a minute. These don't look that small now. Okay, yeah. My cubes are just bigger than theirs is all. In my thing, the gray cubes are all 1 by 1. So maybe my stuff is just bigger. My character is like 6 feet tall. Okay, well, it seems to be doing its thing then. All right. Go back to my scene. Not the Arcanor ones. This one. All right, so I think I'm okay with all these then. I'll have to fix the things, but this one doesn't appear to be. Whoops. I'm not sure what they are doing with the double electric ball. Are these supposed to be... Ah... Okay, let's look at our double electric ball. I feel like this one's just being redone. Not entirely, mind you, but... I don't know what this is supposed to be doing. But let's just go with that and see what happens. That's weird. Oh, look at that. I see. It's facing the wrong way. Let's look at this prefab again. My bad. Alright. The whole thing is facing that way. So left and right need to be like this. Like that. And then this needs to be... Well, I don't know what that needs to be. Let's see. All right. But now this is too skinny of a collision because it's going through things. So this is a good time for a sphere cast. Let's see. Do I have one already? I've been thinking about this and I couldn't remember. Did I do a sphere cast? Yes. 1 meter hit detector. Sphere cast 1 meter hit detector 20 meters. What is that? Ray cast forward each frame looking for collision. Raycast length vectors 1. Okay. So it's basically the same thing with slightly different settings. So we're going to replace this one and just call it sphere cast hit detector. And then this one's going to be a use sphere cast. Max hits -1 because it's a sphere cast. Length based on distance. Sphere cast radius 1. All right, press play. And now let's see if it works better. Okay. All right, so now it looks like as we get really close to that, it is colliding with it. There you go. So it's just better on the collisions. All right. That's good. This force is still way too high. Impacts, toxic, explosion. Impulse, do. I thought I changed this. Was I in play mode? So these need to parent to the object hit. Do we have that behavior yet? Is it a behavior? I don't think it's behavior. Maybe it is a behavior. Let's look at our toxic blob. The behavior is pro effect, this one. Spawns an object at the collision. Spawn. Do I not have a create projectile factory collision behavior, spawn object on trigger or collision direction of hit, collision line renderer, add force, area damage, parent to hit object. Nope, that's the sticky bomb. Turn off sphere cast all. Spawn object on trigger. So this is the one we need to modify. So I'll just gonna make a new version here. When you sticky bomb it, I mean, really, it's the sticky bomb is just adding the behavior, parent it to the thing hit. but that will parent the projectile. So if the projectile is a bomb, it would sticky that bomb. But the explosion is not. So this is an explosion. This is really not an explosion. It's just a thing you spawn on hit. So we're going to make a new version of this that does basically the same thing. Spawn object on trigger or collision. Spawn object and parent it on trigger or collision. And parent it. All right, so it's going to be an override of this. So we're going to change to spawn object at position is what we're going to do, but we need to know the parent the thing hit, so we need to do all of these instead. Private game object parent, figure out the parent if collider does not equal default, does not equal null, can't be null. If object hit does not equal null, else if collider. Okay. And if neither of those, then we can't do it. And that'll stay null. The other thing is we need to do a reset. So I'm going to quickly try to remind myself what the... Oh, yeah, we can do... Oh, you know what we could do? We can just do this. Equals null. Just reset it here. God, null. Actually, we'll do reset parent, and that's going to be protected virtual void reset parent is going to be equals null. That way, if anyone does override this, they'll have a way to override just this part and not have to worry about breaking things or something. So we're going to do the same thing here. Same thing there. All right, and then at the spawn object at position, we do the create object. We do all that and then parent it to that. And we need to move this to its own thing. So that's how you create a brand new behavior. And let's see if it actually works. So this is going to be in the collision behavior. Which one are we doing? Toxic explosion. Projectile Factory collision behavior. Spawn object parent or trigger. This is going to be well, I'm just going to copy this and parent it. Toxic explosion. Toxic explosion. I just realized my screen's really wide this whole time. I thought I had fixed it earlier. I was going to fix it earlier, but then it wouldn't let me because we were importing and then I forgot to do it. Apologies for that. All right, so then going back to our projectile, toxic blob, we just have to remove this one and replace it with this one. and see if it works. And I should change that the text too. There you go. Did it work? No, it didn't work. Debug.log. Collision. Enter. Collision is null. Game object is null. We'll check those. And I was going to change or override rather the internal description. And if it's a game object, we'll parent the spawned object to that. I think it must not be getting the object or something. No, object hit is not null. It just didn't seem to. Okay. Oops. Debug.log. Parent is now parent.gameObject.name. Debug.log should parent debug.log object parent is nope, that's not what I wanted. Is now that. All right, let's see where we're going wrong. Interesting. Oh, where's toxic puddle coming from? Need to delete all these. I don't need these. Well, I'll keep the beams. Delete everything else. It's my reminder to go through the beams. Toxic explosion is indeed, it looks like, a child of the cube. Why am I not able to see it? What did I do? What did I press? So the toxic explosion must be creating a blob. No. Do I have a second thing on this? So where is the puddle coming from? It must be coming from something. It's a cool little effect. I don't know. It doesn't seem to have any thing that would spawn it, and the explosion didn't. Right? Unless it has something I'm like some other particle thing here that I just don't. The decals maybe? I don't know. Decal prefabs? Ah, there we go. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Remove that component. Okay, then we will do duplicate of this and toxic puddle. Toxic puddle. Projectiles, toxic blob. This is the whole concept of this behavior-based thing is very similar to the single responsibility principle on scripts and classes, where each thing should just do one thing. But if you have something that does all these other things, then it becomes very tightly coupled. You can't easily extract it. So this one is one of those. There you go. So now it stays with the thing. There you go. So to your point of sticky bombs, Tech Dave, that's what happens now. It stays on the character. It's just not. Maybe I wonder how long I need. It's destroying too fast, I think. So 6 seconds duration. All right, so I need to destroy it a little bit later. That's easy. You go to the destroyer pool. We'll make it 8 seconds for both of these before it destroys our pools. I just want to see that that smoke actually like finishes its life cycle. So the smoke goes away rather than abruptly disappearing. There we go. Oh, it still abruptly disappears. How much does it need to be? Maybe 12. It looked like it was disappearing. All right, that'll work. There we go. So now all this smoke, it stays with the thing it hits, and it will disappear appropriately. And it'll stay on the targets too. All right, so I'm going to call it a day here. Remove my debugs. There's more to do on this one. I'll do it a little bit later. I need to take a break. But all in all, this is it's fine. The stuff looks good, but you know, I'm sure you can tell I'm a little annoyed. It's not a bad annoyance. It's just that these do have to be extracted rather than simply set up, if that makes sense. The particle effects are cool. They're just tightly coupled to one script that seems to do everything. So I need to remove that script. But the more to do, some of those missiles were really cool looking. So yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.